Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. This includes injustice to the unborn." Distinguished judges, my name is Joshua Meyer, and I'm a junior at Providence Christian Academy. Today, I'll be opposing abortion from a man's perspective. My first point is that men should have a rightful say in the chance to protect life. And two, how we can use laws that are already in place to support my argument. Let me start with some context. According to the ACLU, 25% of women will have an abortion in their lifetime. Fox News states that since 1973, there have been over 60 million abortions. That is 15 times the amount of lives lost in all wars since 1973. These are not just statistics, these are lives, and I believe each one matters. Last month, I was at the YMCA Youth in Government Conference in Nashville, where over 1,000 high school students gather and present bills hoping to get them elected into law. One of the bills proposed would amend Tennessee's ban on abortion, allowing a woman to abort if the doctor believes the baby will die due to a fatal fetal anomaly. The second part of that bill stated that the decision is solely up to the woman. Which leads me to my first major point. Men are being silenced in one of the most critical decisions of their lives, the choice to protect their unborn child. In 1975, there was a case brought before the Supreme Court by two physicians from Missouri. They claim that if a woman desires to get an abortion, she does not need consent from the one who impregnated her or from her father. The judge of the Supreme Court then decided that the abortion is left to the medical judgment of the pregnant woman. To this day, women in Missouri, by law, do not need consent from any other individual to have an abortion. In our great state of Tennessee, after Roe v. Wade case, we put a ban on abortion with a few exceptions. In all of these exceptions, the decision is solely up to the woman. I believe if the man had the opportunity to be a part of the decision-making process, there would be significantly fewer abortions. Although not a foolproof plan for saving 100% of unborn lives, what if it only saved 1%? Jesus says in Matthew, "What do you think? If a man owns 100 sheep and one of them wanders away, will he not leave the 99 on the hills and go to look for the one that wandered off? And if he finds it, truly I tell you, he is happier about that one sheep than about the 99 that did not wander off. In the same way, your Father in heaven is not willing that any of these little ones should perish." We are called to be like Jesus. And when Jesus says he would do anything and has done everything to get and save the one, let's apply this to abortion by standing up and saying, one life coming into this world is important enough to stand up and fight for. We cannot ignore the value of even one life. So how do we tackle this problem? Let's start with the law so that we can include everyone in this conversation, not just those who honor the Bible. The law defines consent as an agreement to do something between two parties. U.S. law states that all sex must be consensual, and if not, then the person forcing the other party to participate can be charged with rape. And rape has a punishment of 8 to 30 years in prison in the state of Tennessee. So to have sex and have the possibility of creating life, both the male and female have to agree. If they both have to agree to have sex and have the possibility of creating life, why does only the woman get the decision on abortion? Without the man, she would not be able to be pregnant, so without the man, she should not have the decision all to herself to abort the life they created together. The law takes consent seriously when it comes to creating life, so why doesn't it when it comes to ending life? Which leads me to my second point. I think we can expound on laws already in place to further the fight against abortion and use the established laws in favor of protecting the life of the unborn. I'm kind of a math nerd, so bear with me here. To simplify these ideas, let's put it in math terms. Let's establish A plus B equals C. Then we can agree that A, woman's consent, plus B, man's consent, equals C, consensual sex. And if C is not achieved, then it's punishable by law. Let's continue with this thought process and apply that same logic of the law to the abortion laws. Remember, A plus B equals C. So, A, woman's consent to abort the baby, but if B is not man's consent to abort the baby, then we cannot achieve C, which means we cannot abort a baby without consent of both parties, because the law has already established that both parties must consent. My proposal is that we fight for the right for the man to be involved in the decision-making process under the same law of consent. Why do we require two people's agreement to create life, but only one person's opinion to end it? That logic is inconsistent. I believe if the man had the right to have an equal say in the life of a baby, there would be significantly less abortions. We might not be able to save all unborn lives this way, but I feel it would be the first step in a fight worth fighting. Jesus so pursued the one, even being in the midst of the 99. We should also. Everyone is happy to give their opinion on abortion, but very few take a stand on how to fix the abortion problem. I'm here today with not just an opinion, but also a plan to help solve this problem one step at a time. Because in my book, A plus B equals C, and C equals life for the unborn. Thank you.